Ah,
Saya berkontrol kan ni?
betul.
Saya bagi kita next lah.
Saya je lah yang boleh kontrol dapat. Okey, kalau
Okey,
ada
saya bagi kita next.
next yang tu.
Okay, and my command lah. Okay, alright. Okay, assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. Okay, my apology for the technical is not actually a problem, but it's a challenge. The one is the actual situation we're having now in the military, whereby we cannot expect that everything will run smooth because we are subjected to operational and also subjected to enemy or hostile actions. These are the things that there are consequences that we have to fix. Then we have to answer to our bosses, our top brass up there. So there's no room for us to get excuse. Okay, today we cannot proceed. There's no such thing. Okay, my topics I would deliver to all of you is military officer support. Okay, as you see in the picture, this one technician. This one guy, he's doing something at the helicopters. This helicopter belongs to the army, the army aviation. It's not the air force, but the army, the land component of the military. Okay, next slide. Okay, these are my reference. Along the way, what I'm going to impart to all of you is more on my experience, what I undergo throughout my services for the last 21 plus years of service for the king and country. So even though the paper is not too academic, these are the references that may explain further whatever being will be delivered in my speech, in my talk sharings. Okay, next. Okay, the aim of this presentation is to provide some insights on the operational support in the military services. Okay, just have a look at the picture. The one is we call this gun port. If you look inside there, there's a gun. It's a 20mm gun. This gun is used in aircraft. That can be used against mainly for the ground targets. They want the round figure is this more on just like the container, and there are system inside there. There are some technicalities and some special inspection that we have to perform in order to make this item serviceable and can perform as it is designed. Okay, next. Okay, the introduction is okay. What I'm trying to impart to all of you that there are some difference between the military and civilians on how we operate. What are the environment that we may encounter, and what are the possible risks that we may confront. Okay, although they are almost similar and quite identical, especially in the technical and engineering field, there are some difference. There are some differences, and also we called it unique to how we operate. It all depends on the equipment's configuration, role, and also the environment it may undergo. Which is most of the military equipment will be designed as such that might be you need to able to withstand rigor conditions, robust and extreme conditions that may include extreme weather. Nowadays, the war, when we talk about war or military operation, is no longer attrition, which is those days we tend to kill as much as possible our enemy or our adversaries. As we see in most of the movie, you can see okay, whoever win the war, they don't care how many of them may die, but just simply to take the ground and just put out the flag. Okay, you are the winner. Then most of the warfare now is more on a technological base, which we are quite dependable to the technology. Without technology, we cannot move. We cannot make any judgment. We cannot execute our mission effectively. Okay, in this buildings, facilities. But what I'm trying to share here is more on equipment, how to make sure our equipment or our machinery, our platform can perform or can operate it effectively. And also, I may not include ammunition, which is quite a different discipline what we are doing now. Okay, next. Okay, the role of the armed forces. What we know now, we are now confronting the national disease, national COVID, national pandemic, which is it requires all of us to work to work together, regardless of their backgrounds. And Admiralty is actually we are not the leading agency, but we support from the back. So basically, our main task is to protect the nation from external and internal threats, and also to preserve the national security. And of course, what we're doing now is more to assisting the civilian authority. Whenever the civil does not have the capacity, we'll go and support them based on what we have now. Okay, the classic example of the latest I may not say it's conflict, but it's more on a crisis, which is in 2013, whenever Sabah has been invaded by we call it the external insurgent from southern Philippines, the Lahad Datu incident. The one is the latest example what we did there, whereby we deploy quite a large number of our troops there, and we use whatever capability we have to neutralize the threat from endangering our people out there. Okay, next. Okay, next slide. Okay, before we embark further, we have to understand that typically the armed forces consists of three main components, which is a land component, small force army, the maritime component, the navy, the air component or the air force, and okay, what I'm trying to stress now is my presentation is not to represent the Malaysian armed forces, but just to share, to impart the knowledge on how the typical armed forces throughout the world looks like. Although there are some countries that they may have more than three branches of the military service, such as the United States of America, they have Coast Guard, they have Air National Guard, and so on and so forth. They want to depend on the country, how they perceive, how they look, how they classify their security services. And of course, right now we talk about multi-domain, which is we are no longer underwater. We are no longer just from above the ground or from the under surface, but it can be anywhere. Our threat can be might be maybe some from just a small living room, and the culprit just sit on so the table like me, just like playing games. Okay, they try to dictate something. Okay, you do this and this, and from the control console. This is all about multi-domain. And lastly, we talk about joiners. Joining is each of the service, whether you are the land component, the maritime, or the air component, they cannot work independently. They have to be dependent on each other. So each service, they have their own specialization. They will ask the other service if they are not incapacitated to perform the given duty given to them based on the capability and the platform they are currently employing now. Okay, next. Okay, first we go to the army or the land component. Okay, these land components, this is the main bulk of the armed forces. In any country, the army having the largest number of the military personnel, because they will cover almost the entire region or the land mass of this any particular country. And oh, sorry, previous slide. Previous slide. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, into the nature. Okay, next,
Next. Okay.
uh, uh, land component. Yeah. Next,
Next.
next, land
Okay.
component. Okay, this slide. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, the next bullet we talk about ground dominance, whereby the army, the personnel consists of those people playing around the ground. They will conduct ground domain, which is mean to say they occupy the certain spaces that that having the special interest to our friendly troop or our allies. Of course, they have to carry out the duty in safeguarding the all national frontiers and the boundaries from any external encroachment that may impose threat to us. Then, of course, during war or during emergencies or crisis, they will be deployed to assist the local government or the whole country initiative. Then they also can be tasked to counter or repel or eventually destroy the hostile forces using their weapon system, the guns, all the things. And of course, in the land forces, they consist of various branches, or we call in our terminology we call corps, which is to signify what are their specialization. We have infantrymen, we have armor, we have artillery, we have field engineers, we have medicals, we have clerical, we have religious, and many more. And the main tasks in as the land component is to neutralize other form of insurgency and terrorists, whether internally or externally. As I said before, during 2013, incursion, and also the year 2000 in South incident in Kuala Kangsar. And lastly, of course, to assist the civil authority to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay. Okay. The next component is maritime. It's modified to navy. Okay. The task of the maritime component is to protect the national sovereignty and maritime interests by the using of sea power to protect maritime security. It's more on the maritime domain or any kind of threat from originated from the other side of the country, which involve maritime boundary. And okay, the surface and subsurface combatant vessels referred to the platform they're using now. So currently, most of the navy around the world they're having marines, vessel, mine countermeasure vessel, purpose command support ship, and now there's new class we call it littoral combat ship SCS, and also they also have the air component that comprises of helicopters or fixed aircraft, and lastly finally is quite new to us is UAS unmanned aerial system. Okay, next. Okay, this air force basically to operate air platform. So their main task is to protect the airspace from the external external communication. You so it's more integrated. Again, one this doesn't work independently. Still need the other component, the other equipment to assist the conduct of operation. Then, of course, the Air Force, their task is also to support the arms or service. For example, when the army, the land command, they are going to move to East Malaysia, they have to ask, they have to seek service from the force to transport aircraft. Like we have now, we have C-130, we have A400 Airbus, and many more. Many more to cover. Next, phase two, and any incident happen, whether it's maritime or incident happen, search and rescue would be coordinated at national one we call it ad hoc by
Encik Azhan. Encik Azhan.
components service support. Yeah,
Encik Azhan.
yeah,
Saya mungkin
yes,
network
clear.
kita tak berbagus. Boleh tak disablekan video? Mungkin sebab suara kat sini terputus-putus lah. Mungkin sana tak stabil kot networknya. Disablekan videonya.
Betul, clear.
Dia terputus-putus suaranya. Disablekan dia punya video. Kalau bawah
Okay.
panel bawah tu ada video,
Dekat
cuba
ni.
disablekan video tu. Dekat bawah tu.
Okay.
Kalau disablekan video tu tengok macam mana. Clear tak?
Video tak ni lah. Stop video lah. Stop video. Okay, stop video. Okay, video stop.
Video stop ya. Okay.
Okay.
Sebab sana si pusing. Dia
Okay.
punya pun dia. Try connect lah. Mungkin boleh try kot tak?
Okay.
Saya. Okay, boleh try.
Okay.
Teruskan.
Ni nampak okay. Tadi sangkut di mana?
Dah seminit lebih tadi, seminit lebih macam tu ada sangkut dah.
2 minit sangkut. Okay. Okay, tak apa. Revert balik pada previous slide. Tak apa. Yang mana yang sangkut tadi. Okay. I will repeat that one.
Slide sebelum ni. Slide sebelum ni. Bagian Navy ke?
Ya. Sekarang clear. Navy pun boleh. Yang line component okay?
Navy boleh.
Line component okay?
Line component, saya rasa ni okey. Ni tak ada masalah.
Clear tak ada masalah. Dia start pada Navy kan? Maritime component kan? Okay. Okay, so for the technicals, that one. Okay, alright. Okay, next we proceed to the maritime component of the or Navy. Okay, the role of the Navy or the maritime component of the armed forces is to protect the national sovereignty and the maritime interests by the use of sea power to protect the maritime security using the platforms. So, which is more on combating the incursion originated from the maritime domain. So the current capability we're having now is more on surface and subsurface platform, which may comprises of submarines, petrol vessel or petrocraft, the mine countermeasure to lay mine or to neutralize mine, the multi-purpose command support ships to provide logistics support. Then the latest one is LCS, literal combat ship, and we may have and right now we also have helicopters, and now the latest in the adventure is unmanned area system UAS. So typically most navy are having this kind of system. There are some terminology that you use now to represent the platform or the class of vessel used by the Navy. Those days we are having during World War II, we are having a battleship in the adversary. Not we refer to the armed forces, not to Malaysia. Okay, but right now we more focus on precise and also more on multi-purpose platform, which is that's why the class of vessel comes into play. So we have the new terminology like just I mentioned now, LCS, or we have now another one we call it MCS, multi-purpose combat ship. Okay. The next. Okay, Air Force or the air components. The role of the Air Force to protect the airspace from the external threat incursion. by using the aircraft, the fighter aircraft or the interceptor aircraft. Whenever hostile aircraft encroach to our airspace, fighter aircraft will be scrambled to identify, to provide clear direction what going to do next. So then normally at this level, at our level, whenever we encounter this kind of threat, we cannot simply uh, what we call it, launch any offensive action to that threat, because it may impact the spirit of diplomacy, the spirit of diplomatic in the region, because we believe diplomatic is another component or another power beside of any military might that we are having now. So we have to understand that it's not that simple to intercept or to destroy any incoming aircraft. When even though the one is positively identified as hostile, we have some other means. It might be we may force the aircraft to force land, or just instruct the aircrew, the operator, to stay away from our airspace. Then we will resolve it later in a diplomatic way. And the next role is to support other arms. For example, whenever the ground troop, the ground command, they are going to move to east of Malaysia, so they have to request from the Air Force to provide them with the transport aircraft. The current type we have now is C-130 Hercules, and also the Airbus A400, the latest one. This we call it glass cockpit aircraft. Very highly technology, and we need competent personnel that are well trained and well versed in the system, and backed by competent and qualified engineers. It's not just simple to buy the equipment and just let them operate it without being supervised well. Okay, the next role is to provide or to conduct search and rescue. Okay, during any incident, air or maritime incident, at national level, what we call it, national command center would be formed up. This is ad hoc one, whereby all assets from the services or other agency will be pooled in one center to conduct the operation. So one leading agency, normally by the police, by the police force, to conduct the search and rescue operation. Then all services, they have to allot the aircraft or the asset to assist whatever given instruction in respect to their respective equipment and capabilities. Okay, right now, currently what we're having now is we have fighters that may consist of interceptors, or air supported or ground attack aircraft. So the latest one I'm just this announced in the media is LCA. We call it LCA stand for Light Combat Aircraft. It's not really a combat aircraft, but it also can carry out multi role, and also training for the pilots. And the platform, other platform, we have transport. We have NPA, maritime patrol aircraft, to conduct maritime reconnaissance in the seawater, to assist the navy and other arms that require their services. Also airborne early warning. Right now we don't have that platform, but maybe in coming years there will be some good news. We're having that kind of platform. Then civilian and reconnaissance aircraft and UAS, unmanned aerial system, helicopters, trainers, air defense radar, and also ground-based air defense. Normally, the ground-based defense, you are using a missile. So I currently only have a short-range missile, having the ability to conduct air defense at very short range, because at the longer range, that one will be performed by the air platform. Okay, next. Okay, this trades and branch and specialization, as I said before, in the armed force we have various trades and specialization. So each of them having their specific duty they have to perform, and they have their own specialization, and they have undergone the specific training to clear to the specialization and their experts. So when you look, just have a look at the bullets. We have infantry, those soldiers, just walking soldier in the general, in the, what we call it, in the layman term is walking soldier on foot. But nowadays they are using vehicle, we call mounted infantry in vehicle. This one is armor. Armor is just to operate tank or armor vehicle. The artillery using the large gun. The field engineers, their task is to ensure the battlefield needs, such as bridging, building, mining, and counter mobility or anti mobility, that to prevent the enemy encroaching our land. They are the one who plant the mines, the booby trap, all the things. They are field engineers. And the next one, we have aircrew that consists of pilots, navigators, lead master, or quartermaster. The one, our term, we call it crewman. Yeah. Then, okay, the main business of uh, our personnel is more on operational. So those engineering and maintenance support, they are the one to support the operation. They are not at the front line, but they are at the back of the each of the equipment. They are very meaningful in order to preserve or to ensure to upkeep this equipment can perform well according to the job and task given. And the next one is a logistician. They are the ones to provide the material to ensure we can move. You can move according to the mission given, or we, as the technical personnel, we are given a supply with adequate spare parts, and also the support equipment such as tools, test equipment, specimen, all the things. So the next one, we have medical as well. We have a dentist, then the clerk, and religious, and just many more, just to name it. Okay, next. Okay, this is our nature of work. When we look at the picture, we can see that those guys, they are working on the helicopters. This one, if I'm not mistaken, is taken somewhere in 2013 in Lahad Datu, in the height of Lahad Datu incident, whereby this aircraft has to have suffering engine problem, and we are quite lucky because we also bring along a spare engine. So you can see those guys operating the crane from the armored vehicle. Then the other guy try to fix what is just look like the engine compartment, so the rotor blade, they have to remove one of the rotor blade. This particular, it has 4 blades, then we have to remove one of that to facilitate the movement of the engine. And the picture below is shown, is, I think, this somewhere in Middle East. It's a tank having knocked out by anti-tank weapon, or maybe anti-tank mine. So as overall, the nature of work of the military is highly hazardous, and involve the high-risk business that may inflict losing of people or injuries. And we have to make sure that the risk management is appropriately in place. And in some circumstances, we have to accept the loss or attrition. How many people dies, how many people got injured, we have to accept the one. Then we have to replan back our what we did before, to readapt or to try to accommodate back, how to make sure the battle or the combat rhythm in the good pace. And we need a highly motivated personnel, which are mentally and physically fit. Of course, we call it service before self. It mean the job, the task requirement is above all is the most is the at the uppermost from other requirement. Family comes number 10. It's not in the number. It's not number 3. It's number 10. It might be more than that. Yeah. Okay. Next slide. Okay. Next, there's some introduction on defense industries. Okay. Those people who are assisting us in ensuring that our equipment can perform well. We are being equipped with adequate equipment. Those are the organization. It can be individual, it can be enterprises, or even the factories or the OEM, original equipment manufacturer. So the first of all, we need good cooperation between the industries and the government, which we talk at the top level, at the ministry level, and also to the other ministers relevant to the industry. It may also include of procurement of asset. Whenever an acquisition of new platform had been signed off, the enterprise will be nominated by the government to perform the process of acquiring the equipment, to assessing the equipment, the technical and up to the delivery of the system. So in order to preserve the equipment condition up to the condition, the best condition, enabling them to perform well. So this company may involve in various activities supporting us. For example, MRO, maintenance, repair and overhaul. Then this enterprise are now contributing to the main contributor in preserving the national security. There are open opportunities to the enterprise or companies or any commercial body to expand their business. The ultimate goal is to achieve the common national goal, which is towards national prosperity. Then lastly, we talk about revenue, as this involves a taxpayer, like we are doing now, where in fact the taxpayer, we are supporting the government. Wherever the government got the money, and in the simple term, they can buy whatever they want, and assisted by the defense industry. Okay, next. Okay, next slide. Okay, next slide is about the defense community. Who are the defense community? Any party involved in defense have common interest. They can be any organization or those people who have the interest in the defense matters. So why it is so important? First, it may assist the government by providing the useful or relevant information under the interest of national defense. As we said before, we are now having a pandemic that we need the actual information from the public, what we are going to do next, what are the best things we should do. For example, during COVID, we carry out or we perform roadblock. The one being requested by the police, whereby they don't have enough personnel to man the position. So they ask from us to deploy our people. Okay, I agree with you. Thank you. I provide the best whatever you have. Then position those personnel at the selected spots. Then next one, to enhance or increase the cooperation between the society and the defense military. And lastly, to instill patriotism within our society. Okay, these are the bugs of the people of the society. Whenever we any conflict, we should unite, and thus we must have our common goal, and not too much inclined to certain political interests. So I don't want to talk more on that because yeah, the contact, and it's not in the military. We are not we are not to support any political party. we are neutral. Okay, thank you. Next slide. Okay, next we talk about readiness, whereby each human must be assured it must be ready and can perform the given task and perform as it be designed, be intended for. So readiness is something deal with the state that must be maintained in order to effectively execute its given mission. And readiness is about the capability to perform the assigned mission, which rely on so the byproduct of readiness is we talk about availability, serviceability, and sustainability. I think the one is self-explanatory. Availability, we talk about percentage, how many we have in the we can feel how many platform can have. Serviceability is the state of the or the condition of the equipment, and sustainability we talk about uh, how much it can sustain, and whenever it had been fired upon, is it can still be used or not? That is sustained. Okay, the next one, the readiness is of course influenced by the downtime due to maintenance. Whenever the time arrive or the equipment is not in the good state, we have to stop it operation. We have to cease its operation and bring it to the workshop uh, to conduct rectification to restore back into its original condition. So the time allocation with respect to availability, stability, and sustainability. Yeah, again, we have to think about the time, which is commensurate to how many platforms we have now. In then not forgetting to anticipate what is going to be happen next. For example, now we need 10 vehicle. Another 10 years, how many vehicle, how many platform we need. So that one play around with time allocation, including during downtime, also maintenance. That one, all these factors are the things that may affect the readiness. Okay, next. Okay, next we talk about deployment. Is determine the order of battle and disposition, where to put our equipment, where to put our forces to confront the threat or to execute our mission. So the movement of the troop military forces to the area of interest, the one is deployment. It may involve combined arms and approach to battle. Combined arm is it comprises of all services that represent their respective capability. Then the deployment may influence the first contact with the enemy units. So the closer we move, the closer we may, the higher possibility we may confront the enemy or our hostilities. Then the deployment is also we talk about maneuvering the units within the range of their own fire support. Fire support is whenever we move, we must be covered by something. We doesn't move alone. There's something behind us or somewhere else, maybe from air or from the sea. They might provide the protection, so we can freely move in the better space or in the battlefield or our operational area. So we need support. We need higher coverage. Okay, the next one, deployment may also involve a small unit, which is it might be individuals in with small unit, 10 people, 30 people. They might independently approach the battle and the battle group in dispersion. Then also large or small scale, depending on the assigned or mission or duties. Some mission need not more than 10 people. Some operation or some situation may need maybe hundreds or thousands of people, and also the dispersion of all type of equipments to ensure we call it success in operation. Okay, next. Okay, this okay again. Just the one is just to stress more on the task. So during peacetime or crisis of war, the military will will play their role to conduct offensive and defensive. Okay, offensive is just to shoot fire, just to kill the enemy. The one is offensive, or to move forward. The one is offensive. Whereby defensive is to defend, just to defend. With you will just wait in opposition, then we fire suppressing fire, or just to neutralize the threat, incoming threats. That one is just a simple explanation. Then the next one, of course, to eliminate the threat, to kill the enemy, to neutralize, to destroy, and also to conduct ISR, which is intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And the next one is conduct SAR, conduct search and rescue, or combat search and rescue. Then the most popular one at current is military operation other than war, which is like we're doing now, supporting government to combat the COVID-19, the pandemic. That one is one of MOTW, we call it in our term is MOTWA, operation, military operation other than war. Then the next one is humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. We have done it multiple tasks, including 2004 tsunami, Sumatra. Okay, as we seen in the picture, the first picture, the top one, there's 3 guys there. They are conducting assault on enemy position, being covered by smoke. Smoke just to blind the vision of the enemy. They cannot see them, so they can work. They can flush the area safely without being seen. The second picture is, I think this one is maritime patrol aircraft. We can see the engine. I think the one is C-130 aircraft. The picture down there, there's 2 vessels there, the naval vessel there. So this, yeah, again, this one is to explain further what is look about joint operation. So the aircraft in maritime patrol, which is air component, belong to the Air Force. Then the vessel, this maritime component, belong to the Navy. So whenever more than one service work together, we call it joint operation. Okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, okay. Our task is to provide the service. Okay, the ones refer to the engineering and technical specialist. So first we look after the equipment maintenance to ensure all these items are in good order. Then we provide engineering and technical support or advice or consultation. Whenever equipment has experienced technical problem, we are the one to intervene and to fix it and advise the operator, okay, how best to use this thing. What are the next to ensure that the defect doesn't happen again. So we are the one to provide technical advice to the operators. Then we conduct technical evaluation in any regime of operation during peacetime or during crisis, and we may assess the equipment eligibility, feasibility, and capability. This include during the initial process of acquisition of new equipment. We have now in the plan to buy. Okay, in the general term is to buy new equipment. Of course, we are the one who carry out the study to look in the market, what are the best equipment, what are the things that well suit to okay, next. Okay, these slides is more on describing what are the characteristics of the military equipment, which is not much different from what being used in the civil, but it may have some other additional characteristic exclusive to its make and design. So among the main characteristics, it must be robust, that can sustain extreme operational condition. Of course, this equipment must adequately meet the operator's requirement, what be specified during the initial stage of acquiring this equipment. Then this equipment must be easily operated, because not everyone offers his well-versed with the system. So they have to undergo the training process, they have to undergo the familiarization process in order to make them competent or proficient to operate this kind of equipment. Of course, the equipment must be easily maintained, and we may not buy any equipment that too complicated, that need components or parts that have to be ordered months before the thing can be fixed whenever it detected. Then just look at the picture, the picture below. The one belong to this one is Adnan. This is armored personal carrier, or armored vehicle, or the or more referred as IFV, infantry fighting vehicle. You have a 25 millimeter gun, and you can see how the suspension system works. We have a track, the wheel track, and armored. This vehicle can sustain up to 12.7 millimeter munitions when being fired upon. Anyone still on the good track now? All clear? All clear?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Just move to the next slide. All right. Okay. Next one is about the maintenance again. The purpose of the maintenance is to ensure the equipment readiness. Readiness is just like what I explained just now. It's more towards on ensuring its availability, sustainability, and how it ready to be performed, to be used in operation. It may consist of preventive and corrective maintenance, and performed by either by the operators or maintenance. They must be qualified. Then it must be performed instantly to preserve its technical integrity. Whenever we skip maintenance tasks, is at a higher possibility to inflict to make the equipment not to work in good order. Then of course, the spirit is to retain the equipment to be at the initial standard during the delivery, because during the delivery all is perfect, because this equipment had undergo the certain testing, certain certification, then being certified as okay, it's usable, okay, all right. But as we use the one due to wear and tear, and also subject to environmental effect, it may affect its effectiveness. Okay, so we have to be able to identify any degradation resulting from the prolonged use and the operational effect, including hostile actions. As we see here, the picture, this torpedo. Torpedo using is a naval weapon, just like missile, and it can be launched either from the surface combatant, or from the submarines, or even from the aircraft. The two guys there is working on it. Maybe he might be using his just look like special tool, or case, some sort of that. Of course, we look here, they practice good industrial safety. They are wearing a helmet, part of PPE, personal protection equipment. Also more similar what being practiced in the industry, in the civil industry, and also the protective boot also. Okay, next. Okay, mobility. Mobility is we talk about movement of personnel or equipment. by means of ground, air, and naval. As I mentioned before, we have the three main component of the armed forces, which is the land component, the maritime, and also the air component. These mobility is the enabling factors of the operational success or decisive actions. These are key to survive in the battle or combat using the platform operated by the services. So we have to understand the characteristic on and also the technical features of this equipment. For example, when operating aircraft, we must know the limitation of the aircraft, what are the capability, how far it can be flown, what are the maximum tonnage we can carry. As what we see here in the picture, this is C-130 Hercules, has been used in the Royal Malaysian Air Force since 1976. Wow. It can carry up to 92 paratroopers or 20 tons of cargo. So this also requires the man at the backstage, which is engineering and technical personnel which are highly skilled and competent to carry out or to perform the job based on their traits and specialization. Then these people must work 24/7 to continuously to support the operational tempo. If those people, those technical or engineering people, they cannot perform well, they might affect the better rhythm or the any movement or any operation would be impact if the technical personnel or the technical branch or the engineering branch or the services uh, does not have the kind of readiness or capability. We are the back. Yeah, we are not. We are the unsung hero, and we are not the frontliner. We are just at the back. That's why we need those people that are highly motivated, highly competent, and they have a stable mental and physical health. Okay, next. Okay, firepower. Firepower is simple as that. Fire and kill using the weapon system. Okay, like one you have now is guns, artillery, missile, rocket, and others. So the use of firepower or this weapon is just destroy or neutralize or attrit the enemy. Attrit means to reduce the numbers. Simple as that. The next one is firepower also to reduce or eliminate the enemy's ability to fight. We don't have to destroy them totally as per se, but just to neutralize their ability. For example, whenever they are using a tank, just fire at the gun. That's it. So their gun cannot fire, or just fire at the fire control system. So they cannot fire. They cannot use their weapon effectively, or they cannot fire their weapon, or they cannot accurately deliver the ammunition to our position. So the equipment and the weapon system must be in good order. Again, as I mentioned, to increase accuracy and also effectiveness. Okay, the above picture, the on the right hand is just that one is a machine gun, 7.62 millimeter. We call it in our survey, we call it GPMG, General Purpose Machine Gun. It's about 50 kilogram weight. The one is mounted at armored vehicle. This one is, I think, is a defensive weapon, just to make sure the enemy down there just keep their head down, not to encroach our vehicle. So the left side, the bottom left is our Pendeka PT91. It's firing 120 millimeter gun. This tank is Polish made, but originated from the Russian tank T-72 chassis. Then after undergoing several modification, so this one is kind of vehicle that already undergo decades of modifications, decades of upgrading, decades of reliving. But our platform is the new platform. It's not the surplus one or not the second hand. It's the new one. During the acquisition stage, we send our engineers, we send our operators to draw down what are the equipment we should have. Then they are the one who dictate what are the system to be embodied in this platform. We have gun, we have a defensive gun, also we have fire control and so on. The next one, the right bottom is Seawolf. Seawolf is surface-to-air missile for air defense system, fired from Royal Malaysian Navy. I think this Lekyu or Jebat class frigate, bought in 1999. Okay, next slide. Okay, calibration. This is our main business of the technical engineering branch of the armed forces. The purpose of calibration is to affirm the accuracy of the instrument. So items to be repaired. If we encounter any deviation of or error in the equipment, we have to send for repair using the equipment, special equipment. So calibration also to identify the error in measurement and instrument readings. And we need control the uncertainties with the acceptable limitation. Okay, this may affect safety and effectiveness is not properly calibrated. For example, artillery gun, it must be calibrated because whenever it is out of order, the effect is catastrophic. It may inflict dangers to our own troop because we need accuracy and also precision. And also, calibration is about information and data reliability. Errors can cause injuries, accident, and equipment failure. Also, this deviation may impact technical characteristic of the equipment. So, as we look there, the picture there, there's a gauges. So, we have to ensure that the gauges work correctly. We have to register, identify what is the errors and uncertainties, and just tap on it, and the operator will know how to work on it and not to work beyond the limitation. Okay, next. Okay, again, it's more technical. We talk about design specification, acceptance and specification. So as I mentioned before, during the stage of equipment specification, we have to carry out design and product acceptance. This may undergo certain design and specification process prior to acceptance. So we have to initialize by stating what are the intention of this equipment whenever it comes to service. Then specifically we jot down the purpose of the design and what are the specification we expect in order to make it effectively perform the task or the job to support to execute our main mission. So we look at the picture there. The discussion is about UAS, unmanned system. The process there, certification. We have to identify what are the rule of the law. Then this more on model checking. Model checking is matter of this academic. So the left box is autonomous UAS design model. Then they have to carry out formal logic specification study up there. So they want once the loop inside there is being answered, the product will be certified and safely or declared to be serviceable or fit to be delivered to the service. This we call it design certification acceptance process. All equipment, regardless of whether it's land or air or maritime or any other platform, must undergo similar process. These are our main business of technical engineering staff in the armed forces. Okay, next. Okay, this one is equipment status management. It's much related to the initial or original specification. These equipment are customized to meet the operator's needs. We specify, okay, we dictate that this equipment must be able to perform blah blah blah, must meet maximum speed, so on and so forth. Must be able to carry how many tons of cargo, must be able to be fit or wired with this kind of weapon system. These are, we call it customization. Then this has been specified during the acquisition or development stage, whereby new design or using the existing baseline. So this equipment may experience degradation. So we have to ensure this equipment not to deviate and affect its capability. So equipments are not allowed to be unserviceable. However, in certain circumstances, certain conditions, unserviceable state is acceptable. For example, vehicle with blown out headlamp still can be drive, but with limitation not to drive during night time or raining time, because it may affect vision. And of course, there are so many consequences relating to safety. Then normally the equipment, you have the equipment list. We list down the equipment, what are the things must have, then what are the things are mandatory, what are the things that are mandatory. So the next one, we have to know how to make judgment on the impact to safety, its reliability, and whether it's mission capable or not. So the last bullet is about the classification of the equipment subject to the equipment management, which is, it might be classified as mission capable, fully mission capable, partial mission capable, and non-mission capable status. So the one will signify, back to the previous slide, readiness. Again, it needs our technical people to make a good judgment, accurate judgment on how the equipment behave based on its operation nature, and also result from hostilities. Okay, next. Okay, this slide is more on self-explanatory. It's more about lesson learned. So the purpose of investigation is to establish the root cause of any incident or incident. It could be a lengthy process because it involves integration. We have to call the people involved, to interrogate them, to ask them what actually happened. Then they may provide us the information, and based on this information, we will establish the sequence of event. Then it may also involve legal implication, because all things will be recorded and involve on loss of properties or life. Then of course, we as the technical personnel or engineering personnel, we must be well understood how the system work or function. And it may also involve of trailing and examining the event. So based on the facts and also the evidence, we just draw down. Then we try to link between the events, between the points up there, until the occurrence of the incident or incident, whether it's catastrophic or non-catastrophic. Okay, next. Next slide. Okay, okay, defect report, see part. Okay, this sometimes it can be routine or non-routine. Okay, this defect report analysis is to provide information to enhance the current system or the current capability of the equipment. It also may increase the reliability and the safety, and of course to increase readiness whenever it involved in numbers of the platform that can be operated or mission capable status. And defect analysis is also to mitigate the risk imposed to our personnel working on it, and based on the facts and also findings, we will provide the recommendation to the operators or any parties involved in the maintenance of the equipment. So the way forwards of the equipment we may establish and we must put on writings, and someone will endorse it. Normally, defect report will come out with altogether with preventive measures. These are actually mitigating the risk. Yes, this part of risk management. If you learn risk management is about to reduce the risk or the hazard down to the acceptable level. Because in military we cannot tolerate with any zero. There's no zero tolerance. We still must have tolerance because we are in defense business. We are in to preserve security. So it's no room for us to say, okay, today we close shop. Close shop, you cannot operate. This is not us, not in the military. We have to find ways to make sure everything can be operated to perform. So lastly is defense system to enhance system that might be performed by the service or the industries. That's why in the previous slide, in the earlier slide, I explained earlier what is the defense industry and also the defense community. They are the people to provide the evidence, to provide information, to provide the opinion of you, how to make use, make best of this equipment. Okay, next. Okay, decisive operation. Okay, this my layman explanation. Decisive is something is can impose impact. That's it. Oh, victory. The one is terminology is often used in the military. So, how to use military effectively in achieving the desired outcome. Victory, mission accomplished, enemy destroyed are the common phrases. So, at the highest level, at the national level, not at our level, decisive operation is the condition which is less likely the war or the conflict or the crisis to happen again. For example, like COVID-19 now, we are doing what we have we had done now. We assist the government what we did now, how we reduce the numbers of daily cases, or to eliminate or total reduction of this pandemic. This we call it decisive operation. Same goes to the Hadatul incident. So whenever a whistleblower had been blown, so we launched officer operation at the position or the Suluk terrorist position, inflicting quite a considerable damage to them morally and also physically. So we managed to drive them out. That one is, we call it decisive operation, whereby the peace and stability have been restored back. That one is a decisive operation, we call it. Okay, next. Okay, we talk about repair and rectification, like I did just now. Whenever my PC, my laptop having technical problem, having a bad connectivity, and also zero sound system. Yes, that one is sometimes we can call it act of God, despite of trial, despite of test had been carried out beforehand, but that one still happened. Okay, so the purpose of repair rectification is to restore the equipment back to its state. At least this equipment are able to be operated effectively. And of course, it is much related to readiness, which is to return the desired level or desired number of platform in the high percentage of availability. So repair and rectification can be performed whether in situ, on site, or that equipment being pulled back to the repair bay or at other separate agency or separate location. Then this can be performed by the servicemen, the military personnel, or the civil contractors, or the service provided from industries. Then, of course, these personnel conducting or performing repair and verification must be well trained. They must be well versed in the system, undergo the certain process, the certain learning curve in order to make them proficient in the respective system. Okay, just have a look at the picture. The top one. Yes, I think the one is from a vehicle. From I think we have those technicians. They have to fix the wiring there. Quite messy one. Okay, the picture below is aircraft engine. And engine pilot has reported during his sortie, the pilot has suffered uh, engine problem, encountered engine problem. Based on his report, once the aircraft landed without any incident, the engine has been verified and and removed and bring back to the engine bay. It took about months to rectify the defects because it involved complicated components of involving all trades and specialization. Maybe you are electrician, you are mechanical auditing, all involved in performing the rectifications. It's not one man show. Okay, next slide. Okay, modification. The purpose of modification is to meet the operational requirements. That one we must refer back to operators or the user's manual. Modification may affect the or increase the effectiveness of the equipment, which is very different from the original state during its acquisition stage. So why we carry out modification? This is as a result of previous report of incident or accident and operational report from the operators or even the maintainer. Wherever they are using they are performing a maintenance, they may find defects that need to be further addressed. Then modification is subject to the change due to technological evolution and threat. So of course, the world is dynamic now. The technology always change. Now we are talking about push buttons. We are no longer 100% mechanical. Then the current design, the next one is the current design is no longer effective to perform its task. Yeah, the one is clear cut. Those days we are using typewriters. Now we are using computers. Modification also having called upon if the equipment is no longer safe to be operated or imposing potential risk or injury or death. Then the design process will take place specifying the needs of modification. Then before we finalize the product, we must seek approval from the competent or authorized body, might be from the services, or we can hire the industry to verify the design conduct after undergoing certain process, very much similar to certification and design and certain process. The only difference is we specify new things, new incorporation into this equipment. Then we undergo similar process. This just corner it, just method in a loop, then register it. Then of course the last one is whenever modification has been embodied in the equipment, we must carry out trial and test to assess the modification. These are some terminology I think quite common to those in the civil. Okay, can we just have a look at the picture? The top picture is helicopters. I think this one Seahawk belong to the Navy or the naval component. The equipment down there is I think avionics system, the system, communication system, or the detection system. Normally the naval helicopters has been employed as utility and also to conduct anti-submarine tasks. So those days, most navy are using old equipment which are no longer effective, and also the parts are already obsolete. So the manufacturer also, so the user have to overcome this challenge by conducting modification. They have to discard the old equipment and replace with the new one. We call it the terminology is retrofit. This part of modification. Okay, the picture down there is, I think, that's gunboat, missile gunboat from the Russian Navy. Is 1970s era. Of course, the weapon system, the fire control, the directed radar is no longer effective. We need more reliable equipment to assist its operation, to make sure its gun can fire accurately, the missile can be fired accordingly, and the communication works well. So that one, any equipment will experience similar problem as it goes along the era. Okay, next. Okay, these are quite common to us in the military. We talk about better damage assessment repair. Due to our operational nature, our equipment are subjected to damage and accidents. It may also due to enemies or hostile action. We might be shot upon, fired upon, and repair can be conducted to restore the equipment condition back to service. But it all depends on the severity of the equipment. So that's our task to make judgment whether it is repairable or non-repairable, or beyond economical repair. Sometimes it's not economic to repair because it take some cost. Better we just discard the thing, just leave it there and demolish the one. So the picture above picture is our movie crash landed in Gobe somewhere in 2019. Luckily, no one injured. The picture below is the British HMS Sheffield being fired by the Argentine exocet missile in 1982. If you look in history, just Google through Falkland War. It's quite interesting. For me, Falkland War is best example depicting modern warfare, whereby the use of maritime, land, and also air component was very extensive. We can see how the task force from the UK island being instructed politically by the Prime Minister, the late Margaret Thatcher, to move their task force down south, the Atlantic, to overtake the island. The island is claimed to be one of their colonial, but due to the island is close to Argentina, the mainland Argentina, and those Argentine claim that one is their territory, so they occupy the island. Then owing to that situation, Thatcher called for we call it an operation to liberate back the island, back to the flagship. So we just share some information. Then maybe you can surf through what actually happened during Falkland War. It's quite interesting, very interesting. From that, you can understand what are the things, the experience I try to share with you in this particular presentation. Okay, next. Okay, we come to the final. So basically, it's important to understand the military work nature, which is not look quite similar to the civilian, but there are some other things that not really similar because owing to the work nature, owing to the community, owing to the spirit of we are doing things. So the bottom line is equipment readiness is instrumental in enabling the operation success. Without readiness, we cannot perform well. We cannot execute our mission effectively, or to conduct decisive operation. Uh, it also involve the cooperation between the military and the civilian, whereby both parties they're having a mutual understanding. We have a common interest, more focused on what you call it, national interest. So we must have the spirit. Doesn't matter you are in the industry, you are in the defense community, you are a student, you are lecturers, you are the public, uh, mingle around, you are part of the defense community. As long as you have the enthusiasm, or as long as you have the spirit to defend the nation. So, as the technical personnel or the engineering personnel, we have to understand the characteristic and the condition, what are expected to be experienced by this human, or the damages that will be inflicted due to enemy action or environmental effect. So our task here is to preserve its condition back to its original conditions. Okay, just have a look at the illustration here. This one, that's quite clear about the operational nature. Involve all parties, all components, or almost all equipment there. You can see tanks, we can see a radar system, you can see aircraft, you can see parachute and there. Then something being done there, the smoke and fire up there. There's our work environment. The one this particular picture is taken from the internet, but we can have more than that in the internet, in the movie or that thing. Okay, from that I end up this presentation. My apology for the technical difficulties. Hopefully, you are having you got some information and knowledge based on my experience. So, any question? All right.
Okay, thank you, Major Azan, for the valuable
Yep.
info gathered from the session.
Yep.
Now I open Q&A session for audience to ask the question that the top.
Oh.
Okay, boleh type juga dekat
Okay,
chat
okay.
kalau ada soalan.
Okay, no problem. Please so. Student Malaysia, majority Malaysia,
Mostly Malaysia lah.
Malaysia lah. Okay, 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 alright. Any terminology or jargon needs further explanation? Yep.
Semua senyap.
Dia kusyuk.
Okay. Okay, ni
From the academic staff. I think they have so many questions. That's why they don't have the room. Yeah. That one is good indication because maybe we can you can expand further in future. From the academic staff, any clarification?
So, Dr. Rodi macam mana? Ada apa soalan tadi?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, dia mention no question.
Okay, alright.
Sajalah apa.
Alright.
Okay, okay, Dr. Rodi, ada apa-apa ucapan nak disampaikan? Okay, okay, nampaknya semua kita tak ada respon.
Okay.
Kalau macam okay, okay, saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada Meja Azhan di
Jawab.
atas persembahan yang telah diberikan.
Okay.
So, kita tambahkanlah sesi kita pada hari ini.
Alright.
Okay, so, okay, saya sudahi. Assalamualaikum dan salam.
Okay. Cuma tadi slide delay ya. Berapa lama delay dah? Setengah jam? Setengah jam tadi kan?
Macam tu lah.
Half an hour delay lah. Tapi kita lejak sikit lah Pak Suku ni. Okay lah tu. Dia cover up tu. Okay, no harm lah ya. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Ya, terima kasih.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good day. Alright.